Hi, I'm Trey Hollingsworth. I'm your current congressman, and I'm running for Congress again because I believe we need to ensure Hoosier values are put first in Washington, D.C. I'm really focused on three big issues. Number one, continuing our fight against COVID-19 in this pandemic. I want to ensure every Hoosier has the opportunity to get affordable, accessible care should they need it during this time. In addition to that, I want to make sure I'm empowering our healthcare heroes, whether they're right here in New Albany or whether they're across our district, across our state, across our country, to ensure they have the tools and resources necessary to help every single American get through this illness. And lastly, I want to make sure that we continue to support our biotech researchers, those that are developing the next generation of cures, not just for COVID-19, but also for Alzheimer's, for diabetes, for cancer, and for heart disease. I want to make sure we, as Americans, continue to be world leaders in biological research. Secondarily, what I hear all the way across the district is that Hoosiers want to see us get back to that economy we had in February. I want to get back to where unemployment's at 3.5%, where wage growth is rampant across the district. I want to make sure you, your family, and your children have the opportunity to be able to create their own better future and live their American dream. We do that by lowering the regulatory burden, fixing the tax code, and ultimately ensuring there's more and more economic prosperity for every American and every Hoosier alike to participate in. And then lastly, as always, I'm immensely focused on making sure we reform Washington. Washington isn't working for Americans. Washington isn't working for Hoosiers. I want to ensure that we get to a Washington that reflects our values, that reflects what's best in us. And we're only going to do that with term limits and lobbying bans. And so I'm the House's biggest proponent of term limits. When one goes to Washington, no matter how laudable the aims may be, being there too long leads to outcomes that aren't in our best interest. So I lead the House in terms of term limits to ensure that there's a limited amount of time that every representative can serve, so they come back and live by those laws that they've helped create. Those are the three things I'm focused on every single day. They're the things I have been focused on as your representative, and the things I'll continue to be focused on, because you, your values, and our collective future is what matters to me.
Hi, I'm Tanya Millis, and I'm running for U.S. House of Representatives, Indiana's District 9. When I was 18 years old, Ronald Reagan was running for president, first term. He was such a good orator, he drew me in. I got interested in politics, observing, watching, paying attention to what was going on both nationally and locally. But I was mostly drawn to the House of Representatives because that's where the heart of the people is. And I've been following them for 40 years. I'm 59, pushing 60, so this is not a career move. I've never run for office before. I'm a real estate broker and I like my job. But over the decades, I've been watching our liberties and freedoms slowly being whittled away. We the people's independence is fading. I feel compelled to stand up and serve my community. I'm a small town realtor running against big money, but I can do this. I hope you go to my website, tanyaforcongress.com, to learn more about me and the issues I care about. Early in the year, our country was $23 trillion in debt. This is something that accumulated over both parties' administrations. That is $76,000 per person that you owe, your parents owe, your children owe, I owe, our co-workers. We each owed $76,000 on top of your mortgage and your car payment. Since then, we've had the stimulus for PPE and also for $1,200 checks. So we now owe an additional approximately $6,000 more. So each of us, you and me and everybody we know, owe about $83,000 now of that debt. It's not some obscure entity out in outer space. That's your money, it's your debt, and it's unsustainable, and the value of the U.S. dollar is going to fall if we don't do something about it. I intend to go to Washington, D.C. with like-minded people to put the brakes on. We need to roll it back, There's too many rules, regulations, and runaway debt. I'm Tanya Millis, and I approve this message.
Hi, I'm Andy Ruff, and I'm running for the U.S. House of Representatives here in the Indiana 9th Congressional District. I believe that I'm qualified because I have 20 years of experience as an elected representative representing my community, Indiana hometown of Bloomington, on the City Council, being a voice for ordinary folks and working hard for the most important priorities and needs of the community. I've also been a congressional staff member for Congressman Barron Hill, who represented the 9th District about 10 years ago when I served on the Indiana side in the Indiana office on his staff. I am running because I feel like, given my experience, my lifetime as an Indiana resident, that I've been here in this part of Indiana my entire life in the 9th District. I've raised my own kids here, and I have played music and taught in the public high schools, and basically been connected to this part of Indiana in a way that I think our current representative lacks, and enables me to be a more effective representative for ordinary folks in Indiana. My priorities and what I'll do if elected, the first thing, my highest priority will be to be a conduit of influence from Indiana, from this part of Indiana, the 9th District, to Washington, D.C., and to our federal government and the policies and priorities that are coming out of Washington. I will make myself available in every way, every day, to ordinary folks so that their voices are not drowned out by the influence of corporate money, of Wall Street, of extremely wealthy individuals who are well connected. I will be a voice and be a channel for ordinary folks to have their priorities and concerns represented and heard. Specifically, I will fight for protecting Social Security, expanding Medicare. Ultimately, I believe we need Medicare for all to solve our health care problems. I will fight to fight to stop the attacks on organized labor. We need higher wages, and I believe that organized labor is an integral part of creating a more fair economy with a broader distribution of all the wealth and benefits of our economy to people who work hard to earn it at the bottom, instead of letting it concentrate so much at the top. I will fight to address effectively at the national level our climate and affect climate change policy for the benefit of our children and grandchildren and a livable future. And finally, I will stand for and fight for the American ideal and principle of equal justice under the law for everyone. Again, my name's Andy Ruff. My website, go to my website, andyruff.org, as shown on the screen. Please don't hesitate to contact me through the website. If you have any questions, want to know more about my candidacy, I'd appreciate your vote and support. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Karen Engelman. I'm seeking re-election to the Indiana House of Representatives, District 70. I would like to take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about myself. I am married to Gary Engelman. We have 5 children and 10 grandchildren. We live on a farm west of Georgetown and attend church at Oak Grove United Methodist Church. I previously served as the Harrison County Auditor for almost 14 years and the Clerk Treasurer of the Town of Crandall for 7 years. I feel that this local government experience has served me well at the State House. I serve on local government and regulatory reform, government reduction, ethics, and judiciary committees. I also serve on 2 summer study committees, code revision, and judiciary. I am fiscally conservative, pro-life, and will fight to maintain our Second Amendment rights. I will also fight to maintain a balanced budget in Indiana. The fact that Indiana had a balanced budget, was fiscally responsible, and maintained a good cash balance has helped us through this COVID-19 pandemic problem. I would like to take this opportunity to tell you how honored I feel to serve as an Indiana House representative, and ask you for your vote on or before November 3rd so I can continue working for the constituents in House District 70. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kent Yeager. I live in Harrison County, and I'm running for state representative in State House District 70. I've lived in Harrison County all my life. In fact, my family has been there since 1820. That was when my great-great-great-grandfather bought a farm there. Not actually the farm we live on today. That has only 5 generations, and that now that we've lived on that farm. Anyway, near Mockport. Farm actually runs into the Ohio River. I farmed for about the first 25 years of my life and was a volunteer in a lot of organizations, both locally, and then that grew into involvement in state organizations as well. A lot of those have been farm related, but I was part of starting the fire department in Heath Township where we live, and really involved in 4-H and the Extension Board and a number of other things in the early days of my career. As time passed, I became more involved in statewide issues. I always had an interest in government. My family's generally always been very interested in government, and I think government is critically important to us anyway, and certainly appreciate what we have in this democracy that we have in the United States. The reasons that I'm running, first of all, I think public education needs more of a focus than what it has had in Indiana. I believe over the past 15 or 20 years, we've seen a general decline in public education, and in particular, a decline in support for public educators. Educators, wherever they're at, in whatever segment, are so important to the future. They're important to my grandkids, to your kids and grandkids, and we've got to do a really good job of educating our children. To do that, we have to attract the best people to help educate them. And I'm afraid that in the past few years, we've made that less attractive for people to enter education. So that's one issue. Another issue that I think is very important is infrastructure. We used to think of infrastructure primarily as roads and bridges and those kind of things, and certainly those are still important. But obviously the broadband has become much more important, and we've got to do a better job of getting broadband coverage everywhere we possibly can. The place I live is literally the last mile, being on the Ohio River and in a relatively isolated location. And so, you know, it's going to be challenging to get to people like me with broadband anyway. But certainly we need to get it to as many people as possible, get over the 90% mark. Along with that, one thing that I am really frustrated with, and I find a number of other people who are, is that we need better cell service. 15 or 20 years ago, when cell phone service was generally improving, it was not a big problem. But it's not improving anymore. I find cell service harder to get in many places. And so I think it's critical that along with broadband, we improve cell service. Besides those two issues, really the underpinning issue that made me decide to run is, as I said to begin with, the importance of our government. And I've been blessed to be able to be involved in government, both in the State House in Indianapolis and being an advocate there, as well as in Washington, D.C. I've had a chance to work with some wonderful legislators and people in Congress to help solve issues. I'm a person who really loves policy. I love solving issues and helping people solve issues. And over the past 10 years or so, the hyper-partisanship that we've seen has really made that more and more difficult. And I think it's absolutely critical that we get away from that. We stop the name calling and we get back to talking. The only way we're going to solve our problems is to talk to each other. We have to be willing to listen, and we've got to be willing to work. Thank you.
My name is Ed Clear, and I am proud to represent House District 72 in the Indiana General Assembly. Thank you for allowing me the honor and privilege of serving as your voice in Indianapolis. I am running for re-election, and I am asking for your vote on November 3rd so that I may continue to be a strong, independent representative of our community and a leader on difficult issues. To keep Indiana moving forward, Democrats and Republicans must work together. Neither side has all the good ideas, and everyone would benefit from less finger-pointing and more listening. In addition to experience, I have a proven record of strong bipartisanship, and I will continue to work to bring people together to solve problems and pursue opportunities. Because of the human and economic toll of the COVID-19 pandemic, the upcoming legislative session is likely to be one of the most difficult in living memory. I have worked with countless constituents to help them through the pandemic, including individuals who needed assistance with unemployment or other benefits, and small business owners and nonprofit organizations that needed help seeking available relief and navigating other issues related to the pandemic. I am grateful to have been in a position to help, and I am looking forward to working on legislation that will benefit individuals and small businesses as we continue to work together to recover. As it happened, this year's legislative session ended just days before things started shutting down as a result of the pandemic. Although the legislative session seems distant at this point, it was full of significant accomplishments. As always, bipartisanship was a top priority for me, and all of the bills I authored that became law passed with overwhelming support from both sides of the aisle, including several unanimous votes in the House. I worked with Hospice Health again this year, this time to pass legislation that will help expand palliative care and, as a result, improve quality of life for people with serious illness and their family, and lower health care costs. I worked previously with Hospice and other stakeholders to pass legislation that made Indiana a part of the Interstate Nurse Licensure Compact, which allows a nurse who is licensed in one state to work in another state without having to obtain a separate license. Kentucky was already part of it, and starting July 1st of this year, Indiana began issuing multi-state licenses. At the request of LifeSpring Health Systems, I introduced a bill to facilitate county-level suicide and overdose fatality review teams, which should help prevent additional deaths. Each of the last 2 years, I authored successful measures in support of First Steps, which is Indiana's program for infants and toddlers with developmental delays. In addition, I worked on successful legislation aimed at reducing prescription drug costs by requiring increased transparency and accountability from pharmacy benefit managers, the intermediaries between insurance companies and pharmacies. I hope these examples have helped illustrate how I represent you. If you have a question or would like to discuss an issue or an idea, or need help dealing with state government, including any issues related to the pandemic, feel free to call or email me. My cell phone number is 812 812-987-4333. Again, that's 812-987-4333. And my email address is edclear@gmail.com. That's edcleare@gmail.com. Again, thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve. I would appreciate your vote on November 3rd. Together, we will continue to build a better state and a brighter future.
Hello, District 72. This is your candidate for the Indiana House of Representatives, Erica Lawrence. And I'm here to tell you why I'm running for this important representative role in our community. It's because I believe that I can represent families and our community well in Indianapolis. I care about children, I care about families and family wellness, and how we can come together and collectively solve the challenges that face District 72 and the state of Indiana as a whole. I am a lifelong lover of District 72. I'm a graduate of New Albany High School and DePaul University here in Indiana. I have been an educator for the past 20 years, and I believe that Indiana Public Schools are the best organizations to make our children the strongest, most career ready that they can be, so that they can serve our local and our global economy. So we've got to make sure that our public schools have every resource and every dollar available to them, so that we can have innovative and amazing programming for our children, so that they can then change the world. I am absolutely a representative of District 72 because I am a wife, I'm a working mother, I'm a daughter, and I understand what it takes to have a wonderful way of life in this district, and I want to make sure that all of our constituents have the same wonderful education and quality of life, with culture, with arts and programming and great community features that bring people here to District 72 to have a place to live and a place to eat and shop and have great experiences here, because we are the sunny side. So thank you, and I am honored to have and to earn your vote this November.
I'm Matt Losh, and I'm running to become the next judge of Floyd's Superior 1. I believe it's important that voters understand that this court sees the majority of the felony cases filed in Floyd County. So we're talking about our community's most serious crime, from murders, burglaries, crimes against children, drugs, and on down. These kinds of cases warrant a judge with serious criminal law experience. I'm the only candidate with serious criminal law experience. I've worked criminal cases for 16 years, as a public defender for 8 years, and my caseload has kept me in this court almost daily for years now. I'm very familiar with all the issues that come before this court in working with the prosecutors, victims, the defendants, defense counsel, and working with our law enforcement community who are working hard to keep our community safe. I'll be ready on day one to keep things moving forward in this court, which is especially important when we're dealing with a backlog of trials due to COVID-19. Overall, I've spent 16 years representing people and businesses in a wide variety of criminal and civil matters. I've worked for myself, for a firm, and for our local government, helping our local leaders serve our community in many ways. I've tried cases all over southern Indiana, including in Superior 1, and I've always enjoyed the variety that my practice has brought me and being there for my clients when they're facing a challenge. My wife Kelly and I, we've raised our 2 children, Madison and Ryder, here in New Albany, which is where we both grew up. This is our home. Our kids are the 5th generation of Lost kids to attend New Albany, Floyd County Public School. And that's where I also learned to overcome being born with a hearing loss. And going through that, I learned to overcome obstacles and have empathy for others facing the wrong. So, these are all things that I feel like our next judge should have. 1, the right experience. 2, deep roots in our community. And 3, to be involved in our community and have a strong sense of fairness and empathy. So go into the city-county building here in New Albany and ask anyone in any department about me. They'll tell you about the kind of attorney I am. Go to my clients. They'll tell you I work hard and that I'm not afraid to stand up and speak out. Go into our community and you'll hear that I've been involved in giving back in many ways. But don't just take my word for it. Go to lawsforjudge.com and hear what other citizens, attorneys, and community leaders are saying about me and why I'm the best fit for this court. I'm Matt Lorsch, and this is my message. I humbly ask for your vote to keep this court moving forward on November 3rd. Thank you.
I am Carrie Stiller, and I'm from a little part of Floyd County called Nableton. I am a Neville, and I'm married to Stiller. I was born and raised in this community and worked here as an attorney my entire adult life. I care about this community, and this is why I'm running to be your next judge of Floyd Superior 1. And so you understand why I care so much about our community, it's important for me to tell you a little bit about myself. After I graduated from Floyd Central High School in 1990, I went to Indiana University Southeast, where I graduated with a political science degree. During college, I worked full-time at a New Albany civil litigation law firm called Bale, Stouffer & Graves. I also met my husband. We've been married for 26 years now. After college, I went to the University of Louisville School of Law, where I graduated at the top of my class and with honors, while continuing to work at that same law firm in New Albany. I also had my first child during law school, while my husband and I took care of his 94-year-old grandmother in our home in Nableton. We now have 2 adult sons, age 18 and 21, whom we raised in this community. They both attended Floyd Central High School. My youngest is a senior there, and he plays varsity baseball. My oldest just bought his first home in Greenville, and he's in trade school with the Lou 502. I have 3 younger siblings who also live in this area, along with their families, and one of whom is disabled, who lives next door to us in assisted living. My parents and grandparents and extended family are all from Floyd County, and most of them still live here. As far as my legal experience goes, I had 8 years of legal experience in Floyd County before I even graduated law school. I stayed with that law firm a couple more years after graduating with a civil practice before I went out and started my own practice. And I've been practicing law and managing my own practice now for over 20 years, right here in New Albany. In that time, I have practiced a wide variety of cases, all of which center around helping families in our area. I have significant experience trying cases before all of the courts of Floyd County and in surrounding counties. These types of cases include divorces, child support, custody, protective orders, guardianships, grandparents' rights, adoptions, and really any and all cases having to do with families or children. This experience in all these types of cases for 2 decades now means that I'm fully aware of the issues that face Floyd County families. I'm also trained and certified as a mediator, and I've been mediating cases with great success for several years. The courts in our area also appoint me as a guardian ad litem and parent coordinator to help families, and I've done this for many years. In these roles, I'm required to make investigations and recommendations to the court that impact a family's everyday life. These are critical decisions that can be life-changing for families and children in our community that cannot be taken lightly. And it's very much like what a judge does every single day. Over the course of this campaign, I would like the community to get to know me better so that they can make an informed decision when voting for the person that they want to be their judge of Floyd Superior 1. Selection of a judge is an immensely important decision. The judge of Floyd Superior 1 will make decisions in many different types of cases, ranging from civil disputes like lawsuits and foreclosure actions to family cases like divorce, child support, custody, protective orders, mental health cases, and of course criminal cases. The type of experience that a candidate has is important. It's very important, but it is not the only factor that you must consider as a voter, because no candidate will have expertise or specialties in all areas of the law that they are required to hear. In fact, what you need in your judge will be someone who has the right temperament and skills for the job. You will want someone who is the total package and not just good in one area or another. I believe that I am that person for you, and here's why. You will want a judge who is decisive and able to make good decisions based upon the law and the facts before them, and I will be that decisive judge for you. Your judge will need to have leadership skills, both inside the courtroom and in running of their office, and also in the community. I have operated my law practice now for over 20 years. I have a paralegal that's been with me for 16 years and a legal assistant for 8 years. This requires leadership. I've also served as a leader in this community in various capacities, ranging from Floyd County Bar Association president to football booster club president and everything in between. So I will be that judge with leadership skills for you. You want a judge that can mediate situations, parties, and their counsel both inside and outside the courtroom. I am the only candidate who is certified as a mediator and regularly mediates in our community and has done so for several years. A mediator is a problem solver, and that's exactly what you want in your judge, and I will be that problem solver for you. Of course, your judge will need to have integrity. You have to be able to trust that your judge will do the right thing when it comes to making important decisions, and I will be that judge you can trust. Lastly, and importantly, you need a judge that cares. They will need to care about the citizens that come before them. They must care about the impact that their decisions make on the entire community, and they must care about the law. I will be that judge for you because I care about preserving the security and well-being of our citizens in this community. But I don't ask you to take my word on this. I ask you to do your homework. Ask your friends and people in this community who know me and have worked with me for 20 years. If you do that, they will tell you that I possess all of these skills and the requisite experience that we need for a judge of Floyd Superior Court Number 1.
Hi, my name is James B. Hancock. I'm currently the judge of Floyd Superior Court 2. I'll be running for re-election this year, and I need to give you a little bit of information about who I am and where I'm from. I graduated from New Albany High School in 1970. I graduated from Purdue University with a bachelor's degree. I have a Juris Doctorate from John Marshall Law School in Chicago, and I practiced law in New Albany for 35 years prior to taking the bench in 2015. I became judge of Floyd Superior Court 2 in 2015, and that court does mainly small criminal matters such as shoplifting, driving while intoxicated, public intoxication, battery. We also do evictions and small claims, and all of the traffic tickets that are handled. In the 5 years up through December 31st of 2019, we handled a little over 52,000 cases, which is averaging a little over 10,000 cases a year. We have a drug and alcohol program, which I'm very proud of, that works in conjunction with Veterans Court, and we'd like to continue to evolve as a recovery program for people in having trouble with drugs and with alcohol. And we certainly would appreciate any help that the public can give us in that. If you see someone who you think needs help, please try to refer them to either law enforcement or someone in the court system. And we do have things that we can work with them on and try to get them in recovery. And I certainly would appreciate your vote. Thank you very much.
I am Judge Maria Granger and humbly ask for your vote to re-elect me as Judge of Superior Court 3. I am running to continue working smarter in the law to enhance all of our lives. I am dedicated in my role as your judge and grateful to have earned your trust as I've built the court on shared values of integrity, respect, and fairness. Starting out as a new judge in 2009, who brought to a then brand new court years as a deputy prosecutor, attorney, and adjunct professor, plus real judge experience as a judicial officer, I have grown into a wise judge and effective community leader in 2020. I established the first Veterans Court in Indiana, the first of 28 of these courts, to address the root cause of military and veterans in trouble with the law. I expanded our local effort to other counties and mentored many judges and communities across the state on just how to start up one of these courts with the goal of helping every Indiana veteran in need. You can feel proud that Indiana's foundation for Veterans Court is right here in Floyd County. The tens of thousands of civil and criminal cases I've decided involve our veterans and families and businesses. Some have lawyers and others do not. Each one I treat with care because I know human lives are affected by my decisions. My ears are well trained to listen to the facts without taking sides or playing favorites, and my judicial skills are well sharpened to apply the law faithfully and impartially. I've often accepted additional assignments to teach law school for teachers and legislators and journalists and judges. I am an advocate and frequent public voice for court improvement, civic education, eliminating repeat crime, and strengthening veterans and families. I care enormously about making a positive impact in Floyd County, and I currently lead several significant projects. I am one of only 6 judges in Indiana who is specifically trained in complex case management and in deciding efficiently business disputes, and who serves on Indiana's commercial court. When I first took office, I led the opening to the public of our Floyd County courts online. I review emergency protection orders every day of the week, including the weekends, because safety for Floyd County families is a high priority. I secured and spent responsibly hundreds of thousands of dollars in grants for needed court improvements without any additional strain to Floyd County taxpayers. I actively served on the Chancellor's Advisory Board for Indiana University Southeast and as chairperson of the Strategic Planning Committee for Floyd County Community Corrections, and I am a member of several local community organizations. My work in Floyd County and in Indiana earned my nomination and election by national leaders in the law into the American Law Institute, which is the most prestigious organization in the country committed to improving law and justice in our world. And I serve and have served on numerous committees of the Indiana Supreme Court, the Judicial Conference of Indiana, and the Indiana State Bar Association. I'm a graduate of the Indiana Judicial College and hold a Bachelor of Science from Indiana University and a Doctorate of Jurisprudence from I.U. McKinney School of Law. My husband, Steve Menemeyer, is retired from the United States Army after 25 years of active military service, and we live in New Albany, and we enjoy spending time with our children and grandchildren. Giving my best in public service to Floyd County is both my honor and my pledge. I am Judge Maria Granger, and I humbly ask for your vote to re-elect me Judge of Superior Court 3. Thank you.
Good afternoon, folks. Thank you for taking the time to stop by and view the candidates that are running for office. First of all, I want to say thank you to the staff here at New Albany High School, the media team for taking their time to accommodate all the candidates. My name is Steve Burks, and I am running for the Floyd County Treasurer's Office. My wife, Danita Burks, and I have been married for 34 years. We have 3 sons, Simeon, Stephen, and Seth, all 3 of which graduated from the Floyd County school system. I've been involved in local politics here for the last several years, and it's been my privilege, because of your willingness to vote for me, I've served in a few positions, and so that is the reason I am running now for Floyd County Treasurer's Office. I think that my experience in local government, and I underline the word local government, brings a lot to the table. First and foremost, as an elected official, we're here to serve you, the people. And there is a structure within local government that you need to have or have an understanding of when you serve in these positions. I have had the privilege, again, of serving in other positions, working with the county council, working with commissioners, understanding budgets and staying within those budgets. Now, when it comes to the Floyd County Treasurer's Office, it is a position that needs to understand that you are working in conjunction with 3 other offices in county government. That's what I'm talking about, the structure of government. The treasurer works with the assessor's office. The assessor, as you may know, assesses property. Then the treasurer also works with the recorder's office. And then lastly, the auditor's office. All those offices need to work in conjunction to deliver, if you would, a product to the citizens of the county. The treasurer's responsibility is to receipt all the incoming taxes, real estate tax and other taxes. This also issues liquor license, but works with those taxpayers in order to see that the monies is distributed properly through the auditor's office to those arms of local government. Again, as an elected official, it's my responsibility to serve. I want to just give a shout out to Ms. Lois Enders, who's done a great job the last 4 years, and I really hope to build on some of the things that she has done. And so come November the 3rd, I ask for your vote once again to serve as the next Floyd County Treasurers.
Hi, my name is Becky Lang, and I'm running for the office of Floyd County Treasurer. I have 22 years experience working in the Treasurer's office, and I currently hold the position of Chief Deputy Treasurer. During my years in the Treasurer's office, I've attended a multitude of state-called conferences and seminars, receiving numerous certifications. I have extensive experience in the Treasurer's office. Mainly, customer service is the most important. I have experience balancing the cash book and the funds ledgers. I prepare the monthly financial and yearly financial reports. I do twice a year tax settlement, mobile home moving permits, liquor licenses, just to name a few. My background includes a bachelor's degree from Indiana University Southeast, where I graduated with highest distinction and won the Outstanding Student Award. My promise to the citizens of Floyd County is that I will be a hands-on working treasurer, ensuring transparency and compliance within the office. I will ensure that the bank accounts are in balance so that the commissioners, the council, and the state have accurate financial information. I would like to also utilize social media, the newspaper, and email to notify taxpayers of when due dates for tax payments are near. I'm asking you to vote for me, Becky Lang, the candidate with 22 years experience. Thank you.
Good day, Floyd County residents. My name is Greg Routon and I'm running for Floyd County Coroner. A little background about me: I have been a nurse for 26 years now. I've been a forensic nurse for 20 years. I also spent almost a little over 20 years in the military. I've been a long-term resident of Floyd County. I have many different things that I do for law enforcement and for the medical world. I have been working with law enforcement on both sides of the river, Floyd County, Sheriff's Department, Indiana State Police, Louisville, LMPD, all the different agencies for forensics as a sexual assault nurse examiner. I have been doing that for quite a while. I'm licensed in both states as an RN also. My go-to as the new coroner is to bring coroner world to people. A lot of people don't understand what a coroner does. We're there to help the people. It's one of the world's worst time when we have to be in front of them, so we want to make sure we give the best ultimate care to the people and to their family members at their time of need. I would appreciate your vote in November and leading up to the election. You can go to Greg Routon for Floyd County Coroner on Facebook, or you can reach me at the email address on our website. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Thank you, and consider me for your vote.
Hello, my name is Bill Gibson and I'm running for the office of Floyd County Surveyor on the Republican ticket. First of all, I want to say thank you to all of the students and the faculty who are putting on this program, because I think it's one of the best ways for the public to better know the people they're choosing for office. I grew up in Floyd County and graduated from the old Georgetown High School, and then I went to Purdue and got a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering at Purdue University in West Lafayette. Since then, I've become a licensed professional surveyor and engineer in Indiana and Kentucky, and I'm presently serving my 4th term as county surveyor. During that time, I've also served on the Plan Commission and the Stormwater Board as part of the duties for that office. And until January this year, I was also under contract to be engineer for the county for the past 10 years. The county surveyor maintains the records of the land's legal surveys and section corner information and other surveys. And we are now acquiring more GPS information to save that information online and digitally. We keep the virtual locations of those points so that they can be restored even if the physical points are destroyed. And this is done by means of determining the latitude, longitudes, or state plane coordinates of those points. I also have reviewed the plats and subdivision plats, survey plats and subdivision plats that the Plan Commission and Recorder's Office have to look at and review. My staff also assists the county assessor in complicated deeds and easements when they have trouble with those. In the past, we've purchased a large format scanner and printer to help us in these operations of saving this information and disseminating it. And since then, we have recorded all the plats in the recorder's office so they're available in digital format at the original sizes, and the information is backed up on a secure server. We have also done the same for the assessor's old plat maps. As part of my presentation, I also wanted to make you aware of the Floyd County map that's online. It's a free service with limited capabilities, but you can look up the aerial view of the county with the approximate property lines and roadways. This is on, if you go to 39dn.com and select Elevate Maps and look for Floyd County, you will find this. You can probably Google Floyd County Maps, GIS Maps, Floyd County, and you will find it also. In conclusion, I ask that you vote for me and consider voting for the other Republicans on the ticket. Thanks again to the people providing this program. Thank you.
First, I'd like to thank New Albany High School for providing all the candidates an opportunity to state why these offices are important to both our state, our county, and our families. My name is Jeffrey Matheson. I seek the position of Floyd County Surveyor. Most people don't know what the surveyor does, but surveyors have played a very important role in the development of America. 3 of the presidents on Mount Rushmore were surveyors. The work that they did created the maps that allowed for the development of this country. County surveyors do not survey. We're the record keepers and the keeper of maps. The other thing that the surveyor does, it keeps, finds, and maintains corner markers. Corner markers are physical things, usually stakes in the ground, that provide the basis of where the surveyors make their measurements from. They're very important to keep updated and keep that information available to the public. Now, for a long time, those were the 2 main roles of the Surveyor's Office. But in 2005, the Indiana Office of Technology was established to be a link between business and technology. The result of their efforts have created what's called Indiana Maps. I encourage everybody to get online and look at indianamaps.org. It is free to any resident of Indiana and provides valuable information from everything from soil types to, most recently, where the nearest food pantry is during the pandemic. This is an important thing for the state, and it's an important thing for the surveyors to be part of. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the lack of surveyors. The average age of surveyors in Indiana is 68 years old. We need young surveyors to come into the profession because it's just as important now as it was during the time of Thomas Jefferson and George Washington. I'd like to thank the people of Floyd County for your consideration, and I wish everybody safety and health. I also encourage everybody to vote, to make your voices heard. And I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
My name is John Schellenberger. I am your Floyd County Commissioner, District 2, representing Lafayette and Greenville Townships. I live in Greenville. Anita and I have been married for over 42 years. We are active in our church, St. Mary's in Ableton, and have served as CASA volunteers and advocates for abused and neglected children. I have 2 grown daughters. Jill lives in Cincinnati and Julie lives in New Albany. I have graduate degrees in business and electrical engineering and have been a certified project manager since 1996. I retired from AT&T Mobility after 30 years as a project manager, design engineer, and power engineer. I have been an active beekeeper for over 15 years, mentoring local beekeepers, many of which are women beekeepers. I serve as Vice President of our State Beekeepers Association, the Beekeepers of Indiana, and a member of Spring Valley Beekeepers, where we meet monthly at Tunnel Hill Christian Church. I have been an active public servant for Floyd County for over 13 years. That's years, not months. Having served on the County Council for 10 years representing Greenville, Georgetown, and Franklin Townships. Even though not on the council, I still attend the monthly County Council meetings. Each month, I attend over 15 meetings and serve on 10+ committees, some as president. And I attend a monthly Commissioners' Luncheon with Commissioners from Clark, Crawford, Harrison, Scott, and Washington counties, where we discuss issues and develop a working mutual relationship that benefits our counties. As your commissioner for Floyd County, I am here to give you a progress report from my past 3+ years. Let's talk about broadband. Last year, I championed to bring internet access to unserved and underserved areas in Floyd County. Partnering with Mainstream Fiber, we received a $2.1 million grant that will bring high-quality, affordable broadband to over 2,100 homes and 300 businesses in Lafayette, Greenville, Georgetown, and Franklin Townships. This has been my passion and my priority. With internet access, employees can work at home, and our kids will have internet access to complete their homework instead of parents having to take them to a friend's house or a coffee shop. Jobs and economic development are important to Floyd County. Last September, we broke ground for Nova Park, our innovation and technology park, a 60-acre campus that will bring 400 science, technology, engineering, and math STEM jobs. An anchor tenant will be announced late 2020. A new railroad overpass will be built to eliminate 3 current railroad crossings, and a future stoplight will be installed at Oaks Road and Tunnel Hill and State Road 64. Let's move on to paving, bridges, and infrastructure. We have plans to pave over 30 miles of roads in 2020. Since 2017, we have either paved or wedge sealed over 100 miles of roads, rebuilt bridges, and painted white stripes on road edges for better night and weather visibility. And where NDOT standards allow, we are painting yellow center lines. To leverage every dollar the commissioners spend for paving and bridges, we apply for Community Crossroad and KIPTA grants. And per state statute, the commissioners submit a balanced budget every year. We are working with local leaders in Greenville and Georgetown to reach an agreement that an entire road is paved through the town limits to the state road. And finally, let's talk about EMS and ambulance service. Last year, I championed adding a 3rd ambulance in close proximity to Greenville Elementary School, operating from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily to serve Greenville and the Galena area. I also serve on the newly established EMS Advisory Board. Working as a team, we have accomplished a lot in 3+ years. And if you look at the word team, there is no I in team, but there is an I in champion. And I have stepped up as your champion, your full-time commissioner. I am committed to accomplish much more in the next 4 years for our county. I encourage you to compare all we have done over the past 3+ years. Compare my 13 years of public service, compare my commitment as your full-time commissioner, and compare my vision for Floyd County with the other candidate running for commissioner. I want to thank WNAS for this opportunity and thank you for your time. I humbly ask for your vote for John Schellenberger for County Commissioner, District 2. Remember, look for the longest name on the ballot. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Shoemate, and I'm running for Floyd County Commissioner in 2020. I'm a husband and father to 2 young boys, a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. I got into this race to be a Floyd County Commissioner because of the issues that I've seen out in Floyd County. Several of those issues, one being infrastructure in the county. With a lot of the development that this county has seen over the past few years, our county government and our roads have not been ready for it. Well, the people that have paid the price for this is the citizens of Floyd County and the folks that are trying to conduct business here. As Floyd County Commissioner, I want to change that. I want to make life easier for our Floyd County residents. I want roads to be in better shape, and I want the process to build and develop to be an easier process. Jumping through hurdles and hoops at every turn does not make this county more successful. This county has a EMS problem, which is really concerning to the different age groups, all age groups. Most certainly our elderly, and right now our EMS system is not providing a efficient means of care, and it's really robbing our county blind. There's a better way of doing this. There's a better way of approaching EMS in our county, and this county has seen throughout the years a system that is for profit. Well, the county has proved that for-profit health care is just not going to work. My approach to this would be a county-owned, county-operated EMS system. I think that will solve a lot of our issues with the firemen that are struggling to get ambulances to fire scenes and EMS scenes in a timely manner. This is costing people not only money, but their health. That issue is very, very important. When it comes to our roads and infrastructure, we cannot continue as a county to keep putting Band-Aids on our roads. Our paving system for these roadways is simply a Band-Aid. we're not getting to the base of the problems here. My history, and with it being a decade in EMS, over a decade in EMS, and my work in my professional life, and fiscal responsibility with this professional life, should lead to a profitable county for years to come.
Good day, everybody. I'm Tom Linford, running for County Commissioner in District 3, which is everybody who will vote for the commissioners in the county. One of my big gripes is the county commissioners will not say no to any developer. If you notice, our county is being built up very quickly. Over the next 2 years, there's going to be close to 500-600 new homes, averaging from 350,000 plus. And just think what this is going to do to our schools. You're looking at close to another 1,000, 2,000 kids are going to be put in our schools, which they're all bursting out of their classrooms as it is. You're going to put another 1,000 cars on the road. It's going to be impossible to get from Georgetown exit on I-64 to Louisville in 10 minutes. So you got to think about all this other stuff. I think some of the county commissioners are going in the wrong direction with all the housing that's going on. They're not thinking about all the roads. The roads are so narrow, like the one over on Yenawine and Old Georgetown Road. They're getting ready to put in 55 houses on 16 acres of land. That's almost 4 houses per acre of land. And you're talking about the roads are so narrow now, the 2 school buses go down their street, they can't even pass each other. Somebody's got to get over. Just imagine a ladder truck from Georgetown and a bus load of kids, 30 kids in the bus. Who's going to take the ditch? School bus or the fire department? You can take that guess. So with the streets being as narrow they are, we don't need all this development. The big equipment coming in, doing the development. They're tearing up our roads. The county can't hardly keep up with the roads as it is. They're going to have to be widened. Then they got to be repaired. More money. Guess where this money's going to come from? Taxes are going to have to go up. Somebody's got to pay for all this roads and schools and everything else. So that's one of my big gripes about the county commissioners is somebody needs to be in there that was willing to say no. And I think I'm the person for you to say no. I'm also self-employed. I landscape and cut grass throughout the county. I see this every day. The school buses are really taking a toll on these little narrow roads, and all these big subdivisions are starting to go in now. So somebody needs, like I said, needs to say no to the developers. And apparently these county commissioners, the zoning board and the plan commission, none of them will not say no. So we need to get in a different direction here in this county. So I hope you can vote for me, Thomas Linford, Democrat, for Floyd County Commissioners. And everybody have a good day and God bless.
Hello, I'm Dale Bagshaw. I'm running for Dale D. and Bagshaw. I'm running for County Council, Floyd County Council. I've just a little bit of an introduction. I've been married to my wonderful wife for 38 years. We have 4 adult children. We have 8 grandchildren. We have 8 great-grandchildren. So as the saying goes, life's good. As also, some would say that it's a cliche to say I'm a lifelong resident, but however, I am a lifelong resident of Floyd County. My kids went to this school. Some of my grandkids go to this school. Some of my great-grandkids go to Georgetown Elementary. So we have long roots in Floyd County. I love Floyd County. So that's a bit of a background on me. I'm a small-time business owner in New Albany, Floyd County. Some would ask, why do you want to run for county government? Well, actually, I ran in 2016 and was elected to Floyd County government. And the reason why I want to run, basically the bottom line is in 2012-14, I decided I can sit around and complain my whole life, or I can be involved in the process. So I decided to get involved in the process. So that's what I did. I got it, and I enjoy running. I enjoy serving on county government. I was telling somebody recently that actually it's nice to be able to help people, and sometimes people will call and they'll say, what do I need to do about this? And it's just nice to say, well, I don't know the answer to that, but I'll get you the answer. I know the right people you need to talk to. And sometimes it's very helpful for anybody in a business or in the government to be able to just know the right person to talk to find your answer. And sometimes just getting pointed in the right direction is the right thing to do. So, and then I'd like to give a little brief description of county government. We have the Floyd County Commissioners, which is the executive body of the county. And then we have the Floyd County Council, which I serve on, is the fiscal body of the county. So the fiscal body that I serve on, we're in charge of the budgets, of course. We appropriate all funds that are paid by the county. We approve the tax rates that are paid by the citizens of the county. So it is and I've become very knowledgeable of the local government. In fact, I go to a lot of meetings that are not even part of my job. I go to planning and zoning meetings, I go to city council meetings, I go to county commissioner meetings. In fact, to the point that my wife will occasionally say, do you need to go or do you want to go? And the answer is, I want to go because I want to know what's going on in my community. And then I would like to briefly say a few things about my accomplishments. I guess it's important to say during this time, I have and I will continue always support public safety, including police and fire. I've been instrumental in my past 4 years, instrumental in the appropriation of the funds, approving the jail remodel, appropriating the funds for the jail remodel, appropriating funds for police and sheriff, the cars and their equipment that they need. So I'm very proud of being very strongly in favor of public safety, and so public safety and other issues as well as like instrumental in acquiring high-speed internet for the rural areas of the county, underserved areas of the county, instrumental in helping with put together the Nova Park, which is we're excited in county government. We're excited about the Nova Park out in Highway 64, which we hope will bring high-paying, high-tech jobs to the area. So, and that's under construction right now. They're phase one. We're putting in the contractors putting in the infrastructure. But I'll close with all that. Then again, I'm Dale Bagshaw. I'm running for Floyd County government, Floyd County Council. I would appreciate your vote on November the 3rd, and God bless America.
Hello, I'm Callie Jansen, and I'm running to be your next Floyd County Council person. Thank you to WNAS for allowing me the opportunity to connect with residents across the county today. I'm running for this position because I believe that we need more people in government who come from people-centered professions like social work. Social workers are faced with many challenges on any given day that requires us to listen, to find common ground, to be honest, and to help others find strengths in themselves. Social work teaches us to be grounded, to lead with compassion, empathy, and non-judgment. These characteristics are especially important for elected officials. My campaign platform consists of 3 points: fiscal responsibility, social equity, and responsible progress. In order to achieve these, I will promote responsible growth and sustainable infrastructure by seeking new and innovative ways to save money while maintaining and improving our county. To this end, we will need to focus on recovery From the current pandemic, COVID-19 has put public health and safety in the spotlight for Floyd County. It is important for residents to be able to live, work, and play in the county while being safe and protected. We can do this by providing social and economic support for small businesses who may be struggling due to the current health crisis. If you would like to get to know more about me, please visit my Facebook page at Callie Jansen for Floyd County Council. I look forward to working with you to make Floyd County the best that it can be, and I would be honored to earn your support in the general election on November 3rd.
Good afternoon. My name is Leslie Knable, and I am a candidate for re-election to the Floyd County Council. Prior to serving on the council, I had the honor of serving 2 terms, or 8 years, as the Floyd County Coroner. This afternoon, I just want to take a couple of minutes to tell you a little bit about myself, in case you don't know me, and a little bit about my work on the council. But before I get started, I really want to sincerely thank you for tuning into this and taking the time to watch this. I'm filming this the day after the presidential debates, and people might right now have had it up to here with politics, so I promise to stay cool, calm, and collected and to not interrupt myself too much if possible. So again, I really appreciate you tuning in. I am a Floyd County native, born and bred. I went to Green Valley and West Spring Street Elementary School, Scribner Junior High, and I graduated from New Albany High School in 1981, where I participated in the radio program. They didn't have a TV program at the time, and I really enjoyed that. After graduating, I went to Purdue University. In 1985, I earned my bachelor's degree in biochemistry, and in 1989, I earned my doctorate in veterinary medicine. I also got what some people call the MRS degree. I found my husband in veterinary school. His name is Jeffrey Mathewson. He's from Rhode Island, which if you follow politics, that's the calamari comeback state. If not, you won't get that, just forget about it. So after we graduated, we lived out east for a while. I lived in Philadelphia, Maine, and New Hampshire. In 1996, I'd had enough of it. I had had 3 kids in 3 years, and I had a fire in the wood stove on the 4th of July. So that brought me home. It brought me home to my family, my friends, and this great community that I always wanted to come back to. My husband and I are co-owners and doctors at the Blackston Mill Animal Clinic. In addition to being a veterinarian, I also have a bachelor's degree in funeral service. So I'm a licensed funeral director and embalmer, which is what led me to being a coroner, which taught me the value of public service. And that's how I wound up running for council. My role on the council, I think, can be described as either fiscally conservative or fiscally responsible is probably a better word. It's a little rough to get me to spend our tax dollars. We're lucky in Floyd County. We have the 5th lowest income tax out of 92 counties and the 22nd lowest property tax of 92 counties. And I intend to keep it that way if at all possible. In order to do that, one of the main things that we have to do is protect the money from the sale of the hospital 5 years ago. We got $150 million, and it is imperative that we invest that and use the growth. As my mother would say, we can't just piddle that away. If you're going to spend $150 million, you need to have something to show for it in the end, and I firmly believe that. I want to invest it, use the growth for projects in the community, but not use that for our day-to-day expenses. In order to protect that, I have been instrumental in forming the Community Foundation and the Legacy Foundation, which provide grants for the community for economic development, human services, arts and culture, and health and welfare. Although I am often the dissenting vote when it comes to spending money, there are some projects I feel that are very worthwhile to invest in. I want my kids, they're all grown now in their early and mid-20s. I want them to move home here, especially when they start having grandchildren, which if they're watching it, no rush on that. But I want to help make this community a great place to work, live, and play. In order to do that, one of the biggest things we need to invest in are jobs. That's why I've supported the development of the Nova Park in the Edwardsville, Georgetown area. It will provide 400 jobs, mainly in the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics field. It's very exciting because they're using green technology to not only build it, but to run, projecting to use that to run it in the future as well. So again, that's very exciting. I also supported the development of the Kevin Hammersmith Park, which is fairly new to the area. That's where the Little League is now. It's behind Northside Church. If you haven't visited it, you really need to. One of the things that I'm very enthusiastic about is when this is finished, we will have an inclusive playground for children with disabilities. It will have a unique surface for wheelchair accessibility, and it's pretty exciting. I've seen the plans for it. We're going to have a zip line and a splash pad, and to my knowledge, it is the only type of park like this in southern Indiana. Infrastructure. That's probably the number one complaint and concern that I get as a council member. Roads. Pave the roads. I understand my car is a pothole magnet. I think the commissioners are doing their best, but I think we can do better. One of my other concerns that I've worked diligently on is to provide high-speed internet access that is affordable and reliable to everybody in the county. I don't have it right now. My kids have to go to coffee shops to work on their homework, and that's just not acceptable. I've also supported and voted for the digital library that is out in the Edwardsville area, and it has made the materials a lot more accessible to a lot more people. With this being 2020, a couple of things we really need to talk about: health and safety, are top of my priorities as a council member. I'm going to read this because I want to get this right and make sure that I'm conveying my stance on this. I have and will continue to support the funding of the Sheriff Department, firefighters, and EMS so that they have the proper personnel, equipment, and training needed to keep our community safe. That's essential. I've always supported that funding. I always will. Since in office, I've voted to renovate the jail to get it up to code. We have more officers in the county than when I started. We have enhanced the EMS system. We have more ambulances. Our response time of the ambulance has decreased. I fell out of a tree 2 years ago and broke 5 bones, and it took 45 minutes for them to get to me. It wasn't their fault, they were overworked. So that's what inspired me to sort of overhaul some of the EMS. The other thing that I greatly support is the health department, of course. I think that their emergency response to this pandemic has been phenomenal. I support funding for all the equipment they need, the personal protective gear, money for testing, manpower for contact tracing when people test positive for the virus, a mobile van that we're using right now for testing, and hopefully when a vaccine becomes available, we'll be able to use the van to get the community immunized. Unfortunately, I do have to say that we've had 1,400 positive cases and 62 deaths from the coronavirus of Floyd County residents. I personally knew 2 of them, and they were close to me. When I say we're doing a great job, it may not sound like it, but we are. We're doing everything we can. And in the future, my future goals when we get this virus under control is to work on the COVID economic recovery team. I want to help preserve jobs in this area that have been affected by the pandemic, help save the small businesses that have suffered, and help people stay in their homes. they're having trouble paying rent and mortgage, and the council is working to find funds to help that. But I do want to thank the students and staff of WNAS. They're always gracious. Thank you again as the viewer for, again, taking your time to watch this and get to know your local government officials. Voting has started, mail-in, and I think this weekend is the first weekend for early voting in person. If you have any questions about me, my campaign, or even just voting questions, where to vote, how to vote, you can reach me at my website, my email and my phone number is listed on the government website, and you are welcome to call me. So, again, thank you.
Hello, Floyd County residents. My name is Connie Moon. I am running for Floyd County Council at Large. I was born and raised in Floyd County, and I'm a graduate of Floyd Central High School. I have never been a oh woe is me kind of person, and I never will be. I have had my struggles, and I've learned to stand, shake it off, and get back on my feet again. I am a small business owner in the local area, and I'm looking to make some positive changes. I want the county to be the most profitable in Floyd County in Indiana. I want quality emergency response from EMS, fire, police, for all the residents of our county. I also want the kids in our community to want to come back to Floyd County to make this their home when they grow up. I hope that you go out and vote. I would appreciate any votes that you may give me. I'm ready to shake things up a bit and make some positive change for Floyd County and make it a great county to live in. Thank you.
Hi, I want to thank you for tuning in to get to know the local candidates for your government. My name is Brad Striegel, and I'm running for Floyd County Council. I currently serve as the council president. I want to thank you for the opportunity to serve, as I hope I have served you well. We have done a lot of good things in the last few years, and just a few of those I want to identify today. First, we have added a Galena branch from our library to that community, and that's located at US 150 and Eversville Galena Road. That facility is a satellite branch for the branch in New Albany, where you can check out books online, return the books there. They have a 3D printer as well as story time for the kids, and so if you haven't been able to check out that location, I would encourage you to do so. It's a great asset to that community. We also have increased our reserve funds, also known as the rainy day fund. For any unexpected things that may come up in the community, we have cash reserves to be able to hopefully handle those situations. We have and will continue to work on building a fiscally conservative budget, sustainable budget for the future. It's one of our roles that we take very seriously. We also have made some public safety enhancements. We have added more police officers over the last few years to make our community safer, as well as some improvements to our fire departments. Most recently, the Greenville Volunteer Fire Department has become a fire district, and so we're just increasing our public safety and essential services. We also have become a member of the RDA, known as the Regional Development Authority. This is by state statute designed to be a vehicle for the state of Indiana to give funds to local communities for economic development. And when the state is ready to do that, we are poised and ready to receive those funds to grow this community. We've also, most importantly, today want to focus on the Floyd County Legacy Foundation. That is a foundation, it's an endowment fund that was created to preserve the sale of the hospital money for protecting that and securing that long term for this community. And in that, there is a spend rate and investment income up to 5% of the principal that can be given back to the community each and every year in perpetuity for any projects that are outside of the general operating expenses. So that is a unique and good position for Floyd County to be in, because out of all 92 counties in the state of Indiana, Floyd County is the only county to be able to have this type of foundation. So it's a unique position to be in. There are a few things that we need to continue to address as well. Our roadway improvements and infrastructure. The county councils work with the county commissioners to identify those areas, and we have given the county commissioners a few $1 million this year to address roadway improvements and paving and enhancements, as well as some infrastructure improvements. And so we're working in partnership with the county commissioners to enhance those areas and roadways and paving. We also are looking at economic development through Nova Park, which is located out in Georgetown. It is focused on STEM jobs, science, technology, engineering, math, arts, those type of things, to be competitive in this region. Recently we've also passed a economic development authority through the Southern Indiana Tourism Bureau. So we are looking for ways to be competitive and enhance our economic development. And most recently, we had an EMS study conducted, and that EMS study presented us with an opportunity to put in place some enhancements to our EMS service. It identified some vulnerabilities as well as some areas of accountability. And so in partnership with the county commissioners, we recently passed an ordinance establishing an EMS advisory board. So we are looking for ways to improve our essential services and public safety for our community. And so, again, I hope that I have served you well in this position, and I humbly ask for your vote and your support to continue to serve you. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Doug Weicker, and I'm running for Floyd County Council at large. My wife Amanda and I live in Georgetown with our 4 children, Reagan, Lachlan, Peyton, and Julia, 2 of which go to Floyd County schools at Highland Hills and Floyd Central. The other 2 go to St. Anthony's. I've been a public school teacher for 22 years, teaching government and economics at Jeffersonville High School. I have a bachelor's and master's from IUS in education and a +30 from Indiana Wesleyan. I've been in public service for the last 10 years. I served 6 years on the Clarksville Community School Board. I am a member of the Georgetown Township Board. I'm a member of the Georgetown Plan Commission, Georgetown BZA Commission, and a leader at my church and school. As my role as a school board member, I have experience dealing with multi-million-dollar budgets, such as the Floyd County Council will do as the fiscal body of the county. My biggest concern, the reason I'm running for Floyd County Council, is that we can be fiscally conservative and maintain the funds from the sale of Floyd Memorial Hospital. In recent years, the current council has borrowed from these funds. My plan is to invest these funds so that we can use the interest for projects such as the jail and other projects throughout the county. Next, our infrastructure should keep up with the tremendous growth that we've seen in the county, in particular in Georgetown and rural areas in the county. The infrastructure of roads and so forth is not keeping pace with current and planned developments within the county. My plan is that as the fiscal body, we need to budget for these infrastructure improvements, that the roads and the schools can keep up with the ongoing growth in the county. As a leader in the community and my school and my church for the last 10 years, I humbly ask for your vote for Floyd County Council. If you would like more information, you can find me on Facebook at Doug Weicker for Floyd County Council at large.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Galligan, and I'm seeking re-election to the New Albany-Floyd County School Board in District 3. Before we get started, I want to thank the crew here at WNAS for putting together the Meet the Candidate show, even under the COVID restrictions. Let me tell you a little bit about myself before getting into why I decided to seek re-election. I'm a graduate of New Albany High School and attended St. Mary's, Silver Street, and Hazelwood. I have a degree in economics from Northwestern University and majored in finance at Columbia University Graduate School of Business. I've worked for many years in the mortgage banking and financial services industries. I've been married to my husband Mark for over 20 years, and we have 2 sons who graduated last year, one from Floyd Central and one from New Albany. We lived in Florida for many years, but when the boys were ready to start school, we knew the time was right to move back to the area. We wanted our boys to have the opportunity to attend great public schools, and Florida just could not provide that. So we gave up the beach and sunshine and came back to Indiana. Our boys attended Galena, then Greenville and Floyd Knobs before moving on to Highland Hills, Floyd Central and New Albany. Both attended Prosser as well. We felt very fortunate to have such exceptional schools right around the corner. People ask me all the time, why would anybody want to be on the school board? Well, what I can tell you is that I view it as an opportunity to serve everyone in the community, as an advocate for all of our children, teachers, and school staff, and as a responsible steward of taxpayer money. My background in finance has helped me immeasurably in being an educated and prepared board member. My 4 years on the board have been a whirlwind. Some of the highlights are, we have successfully overseen the construction of $87 million in tax-neutral renovation projects, including opening 3 brand new schools. Successful superintendent and CFO searches were conducted. One-to-one electronic devices were secured for all students in pre-K through 12. We started live streaming our board meetings to provide enhanced transparency with the community. We have maintained a strong financial position while overseeing 3 straight years of tax rate reduction. The class of 2020 saw the largest number of graduates with college credit, 879. Despite the COVID pandemic, we were able to provide an in-person graduation for the class of 2020 and successfully reopen our schools this fall with both in-person and virtual learning options. Looking ahead, we will continue to provide more programs to support the safety and social-emotional well-being of our students. We're always looking for ways to raise the bar academically by offering new course options. Prosser continues to seek opportunities to expand or create college and technical pathways. We will need to focus on the changing demographics of Floyd County, particularly the rapid growth in Georgetown. Indiana faces a significant teacher shortage, so we must work very hard to attract and retain quality teachers. We must continue to make our schools the desired destination for the best teachers in the area, and work even harder to keep the exceptional teachers that we already have right here in our district. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve on the New Albany-Floyd County School Board. Thank you for listening, and I hope that you will support me, Elizabeth Galligan, on November 3rd. Thank you.
I'm Dr. Rita Shords, and I'm running for the New Albany-Floyd County School Board from District 3. First, let me take this opportunity to thank WNAS for providing this opportunity to the candidates. I've watched WNAS over the years and know how important these types of experiential learning opportunities are for our students. Probably the most common question I'm asked is, why are you running for school board? And my answer is always the same. Because I believe with my 30+ years of educational experience, my education, which includes a doctorate in educational leadership, and my community involvement can offer expertise that others cannot. More importantly, I have a passion for public education and seeing that every child is equipped to make the most of their lives after graduation. I am also a taxpayer, which means I desire and deserve to have transparency in all school board activities. As a taxpayer, I want to be treated as the donor I am to the district. Communications with us should be done regularly and not just when a tax referendum is coming on the ballot. I want to know what is going on in my schools and be invited to see the great things that are happening. Businesses are also paying taxes to support our schools, so I encourage collaborating with them to assist in areas of economic and talent development to ensure their future longevity in our community. Supporting these local, in-state businesses and services strengthens our community. Our district needs quality teachers and staff. Their ideas should be solicited and given serious consideration. I am a firm believer there's no such thing as over-communicating. Finally, the failure for the referendum to pass should be looked at closely for what it is. The donors or taxpayers do not believe the district is worthy of their dollars. I will work diligently for change that will provide results worthy of your investment. Above all, business as usual is no longer acceptable. A respectable school board functions together and realizes the importance of setting aside personality conflicts and differing opinions to realize the highest level of achievement. Differing opinions do not need to degrade into a we versus them mentality. If I were elected, I would champion for a professional development plan for school board members. Voters of Floyd County, let's move forward with a new leadership for the district. Vote Dr. Rita Shords.
Hello, my name is Rebecca Gardenauer, and I'm a candidate for the New Albany-Floyd County School Board District 4. I wish to thank Mr. Sullivan and the students from WNAS for the opportunity to be here today. I graduated from IU Bloomington and retired from Kentucky State Government in 2006 after 32 years. I have been a juvenile probation officer, a child protective service worker, and later a domestic violence social worker. I supervised a team of cross-trained specialists who assisted people out of poverty and into the workforce. I later became a CASA, court-appointed special advocate, and then the CASA volunteer coordinator, and recently appointed the interim executive director of Floyd County CASA. I have been active in the community for 27 years. I am a member of the Altrusa Club, Purdue Extension Board, and the Floyd County Farm Bureau Board. I have scholarships in my husband's memory at the Prosser and Ivy Tech criminal justice programs, and our daughter attended Green Valley, Scribner, and graduated from New Albany High School. I am presently the second vice president of the Indiana School Board Association and was appointed by the governor to the Next Level Teacher Compensation Commission. I have advocated for pay raises for all teachers, as well as promoted the hiring of the school resource officers at our schools. In 2005, I recommended that our school board meetings to be audio taped. Eventually, the board did agree to audio, and then later to taping the meetings, and finally to having live streaming. More recently, I was instrumental in making the board packet available for public viewing on our website prior to meetings. Last year, I successfully advocated for air conditioning in our school buses. I have actively promoted increased recess time for our elementary students. Data shows that students do better academically, socially, and physically when they have more recess during the day. When the administration recommended that we no longer have full-time certified art, music, and PE teachers in our elementary schools, I voted against it. I will continue to advocate for these full-time positions. When administration recommended that we take away full medical benefits for our special education aides, I voted against it, noting that these individuals do a tremendous amount of work with our most vulnerable students. Since that medical benefit was lost, we now have a huge turnover of aide positions, which in turn affects our teachers in the classroom. I support changing the law so that TIF money, tax increment finance districts, is not abused and that redevelopment commissions are accountable to taxpayers. State law says that redevelopment commissions may give 15% back to their local school corporations each year. Our local redevelopment commission had $10 million in their account at the end of 2018. If we were given 15% of that, that would be $1.5 million. If the redevelopment commission released assessed valuations after the bonds were paid, your taxes could very well decrease, and more money would be available to schools, as well as other taxing entities, such as the library and fire districts. During the next 4 years, I will advocate for changes in the law regarding TIFs so that our school corporation would receive more money. I want to pursue salary increases to ensure that our teachers are paid what they deserve. Advocate for agricultural pathways in our schools. Ensure continued safety in our schools. and hold our school administration accountable to the taxpayers regarding expenditures. This final point is especially important considering the effect the COVID-19 pandemic has and will have regarding future funding. I take my role as a school board member very seriously. Sometimes there has to be someone on the board to speak up, question, and propose new ideas. We have the best school corporation in the state of Indiana with the best teachers, staff, and administrators. We owe it to our children and our community to make sure that every child learns and we find the ways and means to do that. I want to be part of a school board where every child has the right to excel, where frustrated parents are provided solutions, not excuses, and where taxpayers are heard and not ignored. I expect the school board to have core values of fairness, honesty, impartiality, good morals and ethics, as well as to be financially accountable. There needs to be improvement in the communication between the administration, the school board, and the public. The school board answers to the public, and we are accountable to you. It would be an honor to continue to serve on the New Albany Floyd County Board of School Trustees. I would appreciate your vote on November 3rd. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Misty Rono, and I'm running for NAFC School Board. I want to say thank you to everyone at WNAS for the role that they play in our local elections. I'm frankly honored to be here today as a candidate. I look forward every election cycle to this programming as our local candidates are showcased, and then tune in on election night to listen to the results as they come in. It's a tradition that's very important to a lot of us. WNAS is a perfect example of how NAFCS is indeed a community of firsts. And that's exactly why I'm here. I'm an IU grad and a former investigator for Child Protective Services. I've spent my entire adult life in service to children and families. My daughter is an NAFCS 6th grader, and during our time as an NAFCS family, I've served our schools and community in a wide spectrum of interesting roles. I've worn many hats. I've been a PTO president, a science fair coordinator, a Girl Scout troop leader, a STEM education advocate, a 4-H club leader, an advocate for public education at state platform hearings, and a community organizer all throughout. At every step along my path, I found incredibly talented and generous neighbors from all walks, willing to lend their support to our schools. I founded the NAFCS Community Connections to support our schools because I believe in the power of inviting everyone to the table and encouraging community engagement. If we, as a community, expect the standard of excellence provided by our schools to be sustainable, it's time we lean in and get to work to protect them. COVID is taking its toll. It's wearing our teachers and staff thin. It's caused disruption to our children's education in ways that are impacting academic progress, as well as the day-to-day logistics for families. COVID is also directly impacting the funding for public education at the state level. We need a cohesive board that can adhere to the established code of ethics. They must continuously be dedicated to good fiscal stewardship and transparency. They must be willing and able to work cooperatively with experts, administrators, parents, and other governing bodies, the public, and our school's own frontline staff to meet the evolving needs and values of our community. We need a board that can consistently, clearly, and effectively communicate the strengths and challenges of our schools, as well as the costs and benefits of their policy and fiscal decisions. Strong schools build strong communities. It's time for us all to do our part to support our schools. I'm grateful and excited for the opportunity to serve Floyd County in this way. I'm asking for your support and your vote for me, Misty Rono, for NAFC School Board on November 3rd. Thank you.
Five, four, three, Hi, my name is Ann Carruthers, and I'm running for the New Albany Floyd County School Board. I am the Director of Prevent Child Abuse and the System of Care Coordinator. I am running for 3 particular platforms in which I feel are strong. I have a strong advocacy and passion to strengthen our social emotional learning competencies in our school system. I also am a passion advocate for transparency, not just with the administration, but with me as a potential school board member. I also believe that if we plan strategically, looking at each school and their unique challenges and creating an implementation process and how to overcome those challenges, how to set the best practices in place, we can all be successful. I do not claim to know everything. I do claim to have a heart and a passion for community, a heart and passion for the success of all of our kids, and a heart and a passion to make things better. I have been a resource for several years, working behind the scenes with our social workers, our school counselors, our therapists, with our school administration, and with parents. And I want to continue to be that resource. That advocacy will never stop. In closing, I humbly ask for your vote to put me on the New Albany Floyd County School Board. It would be such a pleasure and an opportunity to continue to serve our community and build positive pathways of hope for all of our families, all of the administration, all of the teachers, all of the students, and obviously everyone that is connected with our school system. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, my name is Jenny Higby and I currently serve on the New Albany Floyd County School Board. I am enthusiastically running for re-election this November. My husband Ryan and I are proud parents of 4 children who attend New Albany Floyd County schools. They are currently in the 4th, 8th, 9th, and 11th grades. Our youngest will graduate in 9 years in the year 2029. Prior to starting a family, I was a teacher and taught elementary school as well as adults. My classes were often inclusion groups, meaning that a portion of my students had special needs. I've also taught dropout prevention and English as a second language. During my term over the past 4 years, I have served as the Indiana School Board Association's legislative spokesperson, helping to draft a lobbying compass for upcoming congressional sessions. I also had the distinct honor of addressing the Delegate Assembly during the 2019 School Board Convention. I also personally advocated for live streaming our board meetings, which we have successfully done since August of 2017. Live streaming has tremendously increased board transparency and allowed the public to conveniently view each of our meetings. Lastly, I invested in our corporation's infrastructure, highlighting New Albany Floyd as a premier corporation in southern Indiana. Since 2016, we have successfully opened 2 schools, as well as spearheaded renovations at a 3rd facility and throughout our district. My vision for the next 4 years includes several things. 1, continuing to promote safety and utilizing my legislative role to highlight funding needs at the state level. 2, working tirelessly to help our students and staff navigate the challenges of COVID-19 and attend our schools safely and in person. 3rd, promoting opportunities for all of our students through exposure to job creation skills and varying career paths. These paths may include college or they may include trade school. We are very fortunate to house Prosser, the state's leading career and technical school, right here in our district. In conclusion, I look forward to continuing to serve our wonderful and our growing community. Thank you so much for the ongoing support. Again, my name is Jenny Higby, and I'm running for re-election to the New Albany Floyd County School Board. Have a great day.